Hi, I'm Andrew.
And I'm Maya. Welcome to the second series of Behind the Rhymes.
The mountain we all climb.
The winds. The leaves have fallen, the sky darker, autumn's own lonely markers. Leaves may fall, but cases rise, sullen faces, masked disguise. Pumpkins' eyes light the night, for October is the mass season. But now horror has another reason. People stand shoulder to shoulder, without a care, no thought for the older. To see them all flaunt the rules, diminish the losses, makes us all fools. And when the days are shorter, people move in, pulling crackers, hats worn without grin. But Thursday nights remain silent, the silence is loud. Of my record, I'm still proud.
What lies behind these rhymes?
So I wrote this in the summer, sort of autumn of 2020, and I was looking ahead at what was to come and what I was seeing in the media at that point, with people protesting, and it just inspired me to write these words down.
You use some interesting phrases in this poem. One that most of them refer to autumn and the season of pumpkins, Halloween as a horror holiday. But there's one that stands out, and it's people stand shoulder to shoulder. Why did you choose to particularly use this phrase when it was, for me, it was most commonly used in the 90s and the noughties to refer to the special relationship between the US and the UK?
I think there's a slight irony in the use of that phrase. Obviously, social distancing means that you shouldn't stand shoulder to shoulder with hardly anybody these days. But the government was asking people to stay within the rules, to stick to the rules, to stay together. So they're asking you to stay shoulder to shoulder in a non-physical way. But I did see sort of people on the news protests about liberties and things being eroded, and people were actually standing shoulder to shoulder without a care, as I've written on there. So it was partly inspired by that as well.
You talk about people who flaunt the rules. There are also people who deny COVID exists at all. How do you feel about them?
Well, you get different kinds of people. You specifically mentioned COVID deniers. There are COVID deniers. There are vaccine deniers. I think there were anti-vax people around even from the days of the MMR jab. Then on top of that, you get the people that say, "Oh, our civil liberties are being eroded with the lockdowns." I have problems with anybody who, as I've said in the poem, diminish the losses that we've had and makes us all fools. Anybody that's putting anybody else at risk for their own selfish needs and wants rather than the betterment in society. And I'm not against individuality. In fact, I'm a strong individualist. And I'm not against freedom of speech. These people have the right to say and believe what they want to say, but it can't be at the expense of other people's health or lives. Um, how do you feel about COVID deniers and people who protest against civil liberties?
I always am for freedom of speech. So, and I certainly am against taking away people's liberties. Um, People can believe whatever they want as long as they don't affect the health of other people. This is where I have a problem with people who say this doesn't exist or the vaccine is just not researched enough or it has side effects. Every vaccine has a side effect, but as society, we decide that we are vaccinated for the good of everyone in that society. Now that we have discussed what this poem is about, would you like to read it again?
The winds. The leaves have fallen, the sky's darker, autumn's own lonely markers. Leaves may fall, but cases rise, sullen faces, masked disguise. Pumpkin's eyes light the night, for October is the mass season, but now horror has other reason. People stand shoulder to shoulder, without a care, nor thought for the older. To see them all flaunt the rules diminishes the losses, makes us all fools. And when the days are shorter, people move in, pulling crackers, hats worn without grin. But Thursday nights remain silent, the silence is loud. Of my record, I'm still proud.
You have been listening to Behind the Rhymes, the mountain we all climb. With me, Andrew.
And me, Maja. If you like this podcast, look out for more on Anchor, Google Podcasts, Breaker,
Pocket Casts, Radio Public, and Spotify.